Good evening, everybody. J Mac here with you right now. I'm joined by everyone's favorite savory treat, Chris. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Another week has passed, and hasn't been a bad week.
Well, like we were talking about, though, summer's going quick.
It is too quick.
Sometimes too quick. I agree with that. I don't even know how to say it. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but it's going quick.
Yeah, it is. And
we'll be joined by some of our other bros here soon.
And for some places, school's been starting earlier and earlier and earlier.
That is true.
It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do with different. Just depends on what's going on in that school area. I know here they don't start until September, and that's because we have the harvest season, and the kids that, the kids that are on the farm, they need to be able to
work and.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So they need to be able to help on the farm. Let's say that. And
right.
But a lot of stuff going on in the world.
There is.
And sometimes it's hard to know. Sometimes it's hard to know the right answer, or the right thing to do, as far as that goes.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky to figure out what to talk about, how to, go through it.
Yeah, for me, I don't like to be too much of a political guy. I really don't.
Right.
I don't think you should be judged on who you voted for in the last election. Everyone has their own views and their own opinions. I mean, it's kind of like religion. You're going to believe what you're going to believe. I don't think anyone's really going to be able to convince you one way or the other. Isaiah, thanks for joining. I see you watching us there on YouTube. We appreciate the like, the follow there, and the view. And we're now going to pull up Big Beast joining us. He's going to join us from Minnesota. What's the weather like there in Minnesota there, Big B?
Hot.
Yeah.
I think we got like a 20-minute good downpour today. Outside of that, I think it's been like 90 to 95, humid. If it wasn't so dark, I'd show you my nice tan line I got at the Saints game I went to Sunday. But, my shoulders are feeling it. But it's hot here.
Well, you haven't seen me in a while, so I'm going to jump on real quick, and I'm going to show you. So you can see my face. I got a pretty good tan. So what happened was I went down in Southern Oregon, down in Medford, and I played in a big softball tournament.
Nice.
So it's 97 degrees outside, but all of their there you go. all of their fields are made of AstroTurf and
nice.
And all those rubber pellets.
Yep.
So on the field is about 112 with the turf and all of that.
That's not good.
But that was fun. It was a fun time. Definitely got the tan out of that. That was a great time. I played about 12 softball games in 2 days. So
that's a blast.
It's a blast. It was the Northwest Regionals for the World League on slow pitch softball. So it's pretty awesome.
Gotcha. Okay. How'd you guys do?
We took 9th place. There was 36 teams there, so I mean, we finished in the top 25%
That's good.
especially for a team from Oregon, because I mean, there was teams from all over there. So
Yep.
a team from a little town in Eugene, where a few of us came down from. And we're made up of players all over the state, but we did pretty well. I was pretty happy with the way we played. So it was a good time.
No. Looking at the third strike like Sarge has done, from what I've heard.
Yeah, finished 9th out of 8. There you go, Tim Hendricks. Yeah, finished 9th out of 8.
That's how Tim finishes with the ladies. You know, he finishes 9th.
You know, speaking of look at the third strike, though, I got to tell you this. What was kind of funny, it didn't happen in this tournament, but the one I played in right before this one, a couple weeks before that, what was called a one-pitch tournament. So basically how that works is you step up to the plate, you get one pitch. You either walk, strike out, or hit. That's it. That's what
fouls and out.
Fouls and out. Yeah,
okay.
You get one pitch. So, going into that tournament, the person that invited me to play failed to tell me that it was a one-pitch tournament.
Oh no!
So I go to step up to the plate, and I rarely swing at the first pitch. I always like to see where they're at. If I'm gonna step up in the box, step back in the box, whatever. So I'm gauging it. They throw it, hits the mat, and they're like, "That's it, strike 3." And I'm like, "Wait, what the just happened?" And
wait, what?
J Mac is tossed in the first at bat of a one pitch tournament.
Yeah, like I've just asked the umpire. I'm like, "What the hell just happened?" I came up here with usually start a 1 ball and 1 strike in softball. I'm like, "Wait, that was only 1 pitch," and he's like, "Yeah, it's a 1-pitch tournament." And I'm like, "You got to be kidding me!" So yeah, I about got tossed.
Thanks for the news.
Right? I walked over to the dugout, and I just looked at the guy that invited me, and I'm like, "God, you're an asshole." He's like, "Yeah, I know. I forgot to tell you." And I'm like, "A little late now."
Was he on the other team or on your team?
No, he was on my team. He just forgot. Anyway, so we got Isaiah out here saying that he wishes he was on that team. He would have looked like an Asian Ken Griffey Jr. out there.
Oh God.
But I really want to get into the nuts and bolts of this tonight, guys. And I said it was going to be an important show, and it is going to be an important show. I got a couple of PSAs that I want to put out there first.
All right.
The first PSA is I'm really disgusted with the male species, if you will.
Okay.
So there was I've been looking up this research, and there was some research done on dating apps. Okay. And did you know that the average guy on a dating app will send inappropriate pictures of his family within the first messages?
I think J Mac cut out there, Chris.
I think so too.
Yeah. So, he's back.
Okay.
Yeah, you're back.
So he's sending his inappropriate pictures to a woman within the first 3 messages of talking to her. 3.
Yeah.
And look, I'm a guy. Okay, I understand that that's all you got, and that's what you think. I get it. Part of me does get that psychologically, but I also want to let you know that I have talked to women that are single, and they don't want to see it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that guys do that drives me a little crazy is within 6 messages. So now take it by the 3rd message, they've sent theirs. Okay.
Yep.
By the 6th message, they're either talking about meeting up and hooking up.
Yep.
And or can I see your boobs?
Yep.
So guys, here's what I'm saying. Why don't you earn it? Why don't you meet up with her, take her out somewhere nice, take her dancing, dinner, whatever it might be that you think is the nice way to do that.
Yeah.
And then earn the right. Wouldn't you feel better about earning the right to get to see him? I'm just saying. I would. But maybe I'm a different kind of guy. Tim Hendricks, I wanted dinner before dick pics. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, when I was on the dating scene, that was, going on, what am I? My son's 10, 11, about 11, 12 years ago. It was hard for guys to date because, I'm not a guy that goes out to the bar. So it was online through apps. And, you meet the girl, you go out on a date, you go to a movie. And then if you're, pushing it too hard to make it a relationship, it turns the girl off. But then if you don't show enough interest, then she doesn't think you're interested, and it turns her off.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, to a point, I mean, not to send the pictures, but
no,
for a guy dating, it's hard to judge. Do you go off being too strong and too attached, or do you lay back? I mean,
right. So here's where all of this was going. This is where all this was going. We also, as guys, we don't take care of our mental health like we should. And part of that is what Big B just brought up. Do you know that a guy deals with rejection 9 out of 10 times that he asks somebody?
Yep.
If not 99 out of 100, it's 9 out of 10. And I don't mean to sound like women don't have a problem dating, because I know that there's not good guys out there, and I understand that, and women have been hurt, and I'm all for that. But I have to say, as a woman, you are always going to have way more options than a man's going to.
Yep. Yes, they are.
So, because I can guarantee that for every one like on a dating profile that men get, that woman's gotten at least 25. At least 25 to that one. And it might be more. And it might be more, but I'm just saying, at least 25 to that one. You have 25 options of people to talk to, where we have one. So when we come on a little strong, it's because someone finally said yes. We don't use filters. Like, we put ourselves out there for the way we look.
Some guys might.
Some guys do. But
Chris, how old are you?
29.
Chris?
29? Okay. So another advice I would give guys that are dating, that are in the age, over the age of, let's just throw out there 25, or the women, we're all adults. There's going to be baggage, be kids or exes or whatever. If the guy wants to date you, give him a chance. Just don't blow him off and be like, oh, well, I have kids, I don't want to put that responsibility on you, Which, you're being polite, but again, if I'm going to date you, or another guy's going to date you, and you are upfront that you have kids, if I'm going to stick around, then I got to accept that. So, I've had girls turn me down plenty of times before I got married because, I have kids, I don't want to have that burden put on you, and no, we're adults. I have to expect that there's going to be some kind of baggage coming along.
Yeah. So I want to ask both of you right now, and be completely honest with me, because this is this is a mental health show. By the way, the first show is a show for men, built by men. So I mean, we are all real men here. We're not in here to just rip on women, because that's not.
Except for Dragon Viper.
Yeah, and Dragon Viper. But I want to ask you guys a question, and please feel free to be honest. Okay. How are you? Like, how are you, Big B? Tell me.
Oh, right now I'm doing fine. Just got off work, so I'm kind of a little exhausted with some issues, but overall, I've had a great day today.
Sure, today, but let me ask you, as a man, what's the one thing that you want out of your relationship? One. Name the number one thing that you care about.
Wow. I mean, obviously it's my family and my son and raising him right. I mean, and being
But
able to live comfortably. But
that's not what I mean, though.
I
So
know where you're going at. I
let me
mean,
explain what. No. And it's not even that side. Maybe.
okay,
But what I'm asking is, you like take out the sexual frustrations, take out the being your kid. You as a
okay.
guy, you as a guy, what's the one thing that you want in your what's one thing that matters more than anything to you for your mental health?
Oh, you got to have relaxing time. You got to have that recovery time. Just kind of just chill out, watch TV, play games. I mean, just my time.
Sure. Um, so in a way, would you say that that's being respected?
I would say 50% of the time.
So because look, I can be completely vulnerable with you guys and tell you that when my second marriage didn't work out, I had to look at myself and I had to truly see it. If maybe it was me, maybe I was part of the problem and it wasn't always everyone else. So I went to the library. Library is the word, by the way, guys, not library. It's library. Okay, let's put that out there because that drives me nuts.
Oh,
There's
if
no
you're saying
such
it
thing as a
wrong,
library. It's a library. But I went there and I checked out a book, and that book was Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
right.
And any guys that haven't read it, I would suggest you read it. I'm not going to give you the whole book. I give you the gist of it, and what I learned basically out of it. God, Tim Hendricks just busts me out, man. Limitations, yeah. So what I'm trying to say though is what I learned out of that is really in the end of it, you could break it down to two things. Women, they just want to be validated. They want to know that their feelings matter. They want you to tell them that they matter. They want to be validated as a person. A man wants to be respected as a man. He wants to be respected because he's been taught his whole life. What were you taught your whole life? Think about it. You're the protector. You're the provider. You're the one that's supposed to take care of your household, right? So how are we going to do that if we're not being respected? And I'll throw an example at you. Big B, would it piss you off to no end and you would feel disrespected? Okay. If, say, the refrigerator went out one day while you were at work. Okay. Instead of texting you or calling you first, she just called the repairman.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, but I mean, again, yeah, you call me and say, hey, the fridge went out. All right, well, keep it closed. I'll be home shortly. I mean, if I'm just got to work, it's like, all right, well, try to walk her through. Maybe the circuit breaker went out. If it's not that, okay, call the repair guy, see, if they can get out there, look at it. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
But as a man, you want to be respected enough to be given that opportunity to make that decision, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, my wife now, she ain't making the phone call. She's going to have me do it. But, I mean, if she went out and called the repair guy right away and then called me and said, hey, fridge went out, I tried the circuit breaker, especially if we've had issues. I guess if we've had issues before and we fixed them and then finally came down to where we can't fix it no more, it's not the circuit breaker, it's something else, okay, make that phone call, call me, and then say, hey, fridge went out again. I've done everything we've done before. It's not working. Repair guy came out and said it's just time to get a new fridge. All right, well, let's look at prices and, and go from there. But,
It would also depend on your situation. You could technically first try to see if you can repair it.
Oh yeah.
Like you
See,
said,
so I'm glad you brought that up,
through
Chris, because that was kind of my point. And I'm not talking about. I'm sort of talking about you, Brandon, in his 10th. Because how long have you been married now?
This August will be 11 years.
Congratulations. That
Yep.
really is an accomplishment. Congratulations on that. 11 years. But after 11 years, she knows what you can and can't fix, right?
No, she's still expected to figure it out.
But yeah, I can see what you're saying. Normally, you would have.
And my point is, though, when you're first, so this goes back to online dating. When you're first in a relationship, you first decide to make that leap and say you move in together. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really know what the other person can do and what they can't? Do you know what their mechanical abilities are? You don't.
Well, exactly, and and that's
my point as a man is I don't feel respected enough for you to give me an opportunity. And guys, we just got to be up front. If she calls you and says, "Look, the dishwasher went out and I don't know how to fix it,"
yep.
you should be man enough to be like, you know what? Either you got two options. You can tell her, "Look at it when I get home. First thing, just remind me when I get there."
Yep.
Or second thing, I got no fucking clue what I'm doing, and I just need you to call a repair.
Yep. And, the thing is when we got our own place and had stuff, or even technology wise, the wife's like, oh, no, here's a good one. I'll take her car for instance, and she's for some reason thinks she's always having problems with her brakes. You got to take it in. I have problems with my brakes. Take it in. There's nothing wrong. We take it to the dealership. And again, so, a couple weeks later, she was like, "God, there's something wrong with my brakes. I know there is. What's wrong with my brakes?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm not an auto repair guy. You work pretty much near our dealership. Take it in, have them drive you back to work and have them look at it." "Oh, I don't want to put that burden on them. You just take it in on your time off." It's like, you're 2 miles away from there. They'll give you a lift back, and then they'll pick you up when the car's ready. So... yeah, no, she always throws those curveballs at me like, "Why isn't my phone working?" "I don't know. I'm not a phone guy."
Right.
"What have you tried?"
So with that, let me ask you. I mean, you can be honest and be completely honest with me. I mean,
Yeah.
you couldn't imagine your life without her. Like, you love her more than anything in this world, right?
Oh, I would, no, exactly. I wouldn't. I mean, we've had our ups and downs, and lefts or rights or whatever, good times, bad times.
So
I mean, 100%, I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for her.
Right. So my only point on that is the only point I'm trying to make is on that is, even though that is true, aren't you kind of tired? Like, aren't you just mentally tired of having to be the repair guy for everything and having to be the one to always figure out what we're doing on this day, or having to go to work to provide? And okay, every guy wants to do that. I understand.
Yep.
But you get what I'm saying. Like, isn't it just mentally taxing on you every day? And follow-up question, and Chris, I need your answer on this one too.
Yeah.
So I want you both to think about, who do you call? And two people that don't count in this. Who do you call when you mentally do not have it? Like, that you're about to just go through a day of hell mentally, right? You can't, in your answer, you cannot include your wife, and you cannot include your mom, because those two people we know every guy calls. Okay? That has them available. I want you to tell me who your one person is, and I'll explain why that matters in a man's mental capacity in just a minute.
For me, that's actually a good one, because I don't have, because of the hours I work, I don't have that close group of friends in my past. That's like, I can't call them up and be like, "Hey, let's go out for a drink in the event or something." So I would say that if I'm really having a tough day, I just keep to myself. But, if I do talk to somebody, it's going to be a coworker or something, that doesn't, I guess, know the whole issue.
Right.
That's
I would
That's a
say
fair answer.
similar, yeah.
And I'll
Yeah.
get back to what I'm saying. So, Chris, do you have anybody other than those two people?
I don't. I'll probably go with a similar answer, like Big B. You know, somebody like this.
Do you guys realize how wrong that is? Do you realize how you actually had to think about that answer and how bad that is for your mental health? And let me explain. Do you really think that if we asked our women the same question, that would be their same answer? No, they could give you at least one person, if not two people or three people, that they can call when they're having a bad mental health day.
Oh yeah. Oh, my wife could. She would call one of her.
But do you know what I've heard most guys say when I ask them that? They say nobody. Do you know why it's nobody? Because nobody cares anyway. How I'm feeling.
No, I know I got people that care. It's just
I get
you
it.
know.
That's how most guys feel. I'm talking the majority here. I'm not talking about the three of us or the four of us, 5 of us.
No, I know. I get what you're saying.
We know we got each other's back, and you could call me anytime and vent, and I'm going to listen to what you have to say. Okay, but most guys out there don't have anybody because they feel like nobody cares. Whether that's the reality of the situation, they feel like nobody cares what they have to say or what they're feeling or how they're feeling.
Yeah.
Because all the mental stresses that they have in life. And we're here to tell all of you right now, we care. Please reach out. You just need to call and scream at because she won't listen to you. Call and scream at me, please, because I would much rather have you do that than become a statistic of the fact that you know that 1 in 4 guys, 1 in 4 in their life has contemplated suicide at some point. Did you know that? I didn't know that stat until I looked it up.
Well, there's 3 of us here, and I've done it.
There's 3 of us here, and Warren is so. Right now, if you take the 3 of us and then Isaiah, Warren, and Tim that are all here, that means probably 2 of us have contemplated that in our lifetime. 6 people.
I have done it, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it.
Because
if anybody asks.
Because we shouldn't be. And that's the problem. As guys, we're told, don't show. This is a no-win situation for us because either it's we show too much emotion and we're a crybaby mama's boy, or we don't show any emotion and we're just an asshole. And
that's the thing is, I think a lot of that has to be from the upbringing because
I was gonna say,
from my experience, I'll even take Tim. Hey, I'm going to use you for example. I know him and his dad was close, and I know his dad was. Tough guy, don't show emotion. To where I grew up with my mom, my aunt. I didn't grow up with a dad, so I was always, I always saw the female side of it, being emotional and stuff, and stuff like that. So I know, it comes from your upbringing too. I mean, yes, I understand. Growing up, guys were supposed to be the role model, the money maker, the strong, the rock. Supposed to provide. And be that strong person, and honestly, it actually backfired for me trying to be like that in my first marriage when my wife at the time had a miscarriage because I was trying to be that person, not show emotion, and she thought I didn't care. So, I've seen both sides of it, and I get where J-Mac's going. And again, I know J-Mac's brought it out plenty of times. Anybody that's watching this show, any friends, if you're having a hard time, hit us up on Facebook. We'll sit down and chat with you, and maybe do a Facebook Live or Messenger Live and just sit and talk. I mean, that's what we're here for. And I know J-Mac's brought that up quite a few times. So
I was just saying, because how good would it make you feel as a man when you feel like you're trying to make a point, but your mom can't understand because honestly, she's a woman, and that's not any offense towards women at all. But there's some things that they can't understand that goes through a guy's head. And then the same with your significant other. They can't understand it either. So how nice would it be at the end of the day if you're really feeling down and you just call and say, hey, look, man, I had a rough day. And if you just had someone on the other end that just said, you know what, though? You made it. You made it through the day. And you should be so proud of yourself for doing that because you pulled yourself through another day and you're going to make it to tomorrow.
Oh, no, most definitely.
Well, it's like what you were saying earlier, J-Mac, about how it could be your upbringing and all that. Back then, it was like you didn't want to show emotion because it would be like just rub dirt and move on. Just don't
Yep.
think about it and move on.
Now,
That
do I
was
think
back
that,
then.
well, right. But do I think that's proper upbringing? I'm not going to sit
No.
here and tell you that I don't think men should be strong, and I don't think they should be not taught to
Right.
be strong, because men should be men. Men should take care of the things that they're supposed to take care of 100% of the time. That's not what I'm trying to say. But just make sure that you have someone that you know you can rely on in the pinch. Just
Yep.
someone that you know at the end of the day is going to be like, you know what, buddy, I'm so proud of you for just making it through today, because
Yep.
I've been there and I know how that feels. Now, let me just venture into one other thing about this real quick. And so this one is completely on relationships, because I want to make everyone understand this.
Thank you for
They say relationships are 50-50, but I'm here to tell you right now that that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And here's why it's bullshit, because none of you can sit here and tell me that every day, every single day that you come home or you have a day off, you feel like you can give 50% that day. I know there's days you've felt that way, because I felt that way, and I know that we're all the same. But here's what you need to do. You need to look long and hard and say you come home and you just let her know, hey, I only got 25% today. I just don't have any more to give you than that. And I'm not trying to be any kind of way about it. I'm just letting you know that I don't have it. And if she tells you that she's only got 40% for the day, well, now you have a problem, because there's not 100% there, right? So you need to be able to communicate with your partner and say, look, maybe for today, you should just kind of do your own thing for the day, and I'll do mine, so that we don't irritate each other and have a problem later.
Yeah.
And what is wrong with that? You know what? Most guys don't want to communicate that. They just want to have a problem.
Mhm.
Don't have the problem. Let her know, hey, I just don't have it today, and it's not you. It's not anything you did. You're not particularly driving me crazy. You know, it's not that I don't want you, not that I don't want to talk to you. I just don't have it. So I need to just go be me for a bit. I need to go out in the garage. I need to mess around with my stuff in the garage. I need to go mow the backyard. I need to go do something that I can just go do and be by myself.
I just need to do my own thing. Just
Right. And you need to be willing to let her do that too.
Yep.
Mhm.
But have communication, because no communication is what kills a relationship 100% of the time. Everyone can say it's trust, it's everything else, but it all comes back to communication.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're communicating. Communicate here for you two. And I know you guys know this, but everyone watching the show, everyone that's part of the show, communicate like we do on this show. Hey, are we having a show tonight? And then everyone chimes in. You know, I can't because I got this going on, or I got this going on, or I'm just not available, right?
Yep.
We could do that with each other. Why can't we do it with our significant others?
Sure.
You do make a good point, but again, you know, communication is both ways. I mean, you know, you can't expect your girl to always give up it, you know, put in 50% of the work every day. Maybe you got to put in 60, you know, vice versa. You know, you're not feeling 50% today and you let the lady know, okay, she might have to pick it up a little bit and give 60%, you know, so a lot of it has to do with the other person too. So, I mean, you communicate that you're just having a bad day, want to be by yourself, you know, and if she gets upset about it, now you got problems. If she accepts it, you don't have problems, you know, and she understands. But, you know, and vice versa. If she comes home and says, hey, you know what, today I'm just going to go in my bed, read a book, or I'm just going to go in another room, watch TV, you can take care of dinner, okay, that's fine, you know, accept it. If you got a problem with it, you know, I mean, you know, then you have a problem with it, you know, so.
But but you could set this all up to not be that way.
Well, yeah.
Right. So if you from the beginning, look, this might, sometimes the words are borrowed, but the feelings are true, right? Like we hear that all the time. the words might come from something else. You guys might not know this, but there was a song that came out a few years. It's probably, I say a few. It's probably been 10 or 15 now. Okay, it was a big song by Lee Brice. Okay, it's called "Love Like Crazy." But in the song, he talks about talking to an old man and asking, how did you make it this many years with one woman? And he tells him, don't ever get too old to call her baby. Don't ever get too bored. Don't ever, just communicate. Don't ever, like, hey baby, you know what? I had a bad day, and you greet them at the door, give them a kiss, whatever. Okay. Hey, I'm happy to see you. And even though, because it's really hard for guys, because how do you come home after being gone all day and say it's her day off, right? How do you come home and tell the one person that you care about more than anything else in the world and the one person you want to be around? How do you tell that one person, I just don't want to be around you right now, without being a jerk?
Yeah.
Right? So we just have that communication of, it's not you. It's totally me, and I know it's all me. But you didn't do anything wrong. Don't read too much into this. And I'll be the first one to admit, I know there's times you guys message me and I don't answer.
Yep.
And say it. I'll tell you that. I know that. But do I always answer eventually? I do.
Yep.
But just know that sometimes that's my time. I'm in the middle of, I have to come home from work. I'm one of those guys that has to come home. I have to go change my clothes. I have to go peel off the day. I have to have a few minutes of checkout time. Whether that means I'm watching the game for a couple innings of the baseball game, in my room, whatever, right? So even when you guys message me during that time, I just don't answer. I'm not going to sit there and explain, hey, I'm just in my alone time. No, I just don't answer.
Yeah.
But then when everything's back out and I'm feeling back up, I'm like, oh, hey, guys, let's do this tonight for a show or whatever. And it's okay to just take time for yourself, because you have to. You can't lose your individuality in a relationship, because that'll never work.
Mm-mm.
Trying to live to be just like someone else or do everything that they want to do. Remember that. Chris, you should be taking notes. Yeah. You really should. And ladies, if you're watching, because we know some ladies watch the show, I'm going to tell you, like, if you want to know about Chris, don't ask Chris, because he's not going to tell you the truth. If you want to know about a guy, do you know who you ask? You ask his best friends. Do you know why you ask his best friends? Big B, why do you ask their best friend?
Because they know everything.
They know everything, and they're not going to lie to you.
Yep.
And they're actually going to make him.
The only question that Chris has not answered on the show is if he likes the hard or floppy. That's about it.
That's true. He's never answered that one. But the other thing that women can't understand is how guys can be friends the way they are. Like, guys sit around and just, lack of a better term, I mean, they just fucking pound on each other. Just, your mama this and your mama that, and that's right. Yeah.
Yep. You got a big forehead. I could rent space on it for a billboard if you drink a Viper. I mean,
it's all out of love. It's not out of the fact that we don't like you. If we came on this show and one of us didn't poke fun at one of the other ones, I guarantee when this show ended, and I'm telling all you guys watching this, when this show ended, if I didn't rag on these guys or they didn't rag on me, the show would end and we'd sit there and be like, what's your fucking problem tonight? The first thing that would be asked as soon as we went off the air.
Right.
Because it's what we do as guys. It's what we do. We bag on each other. It's how we show our affection towards one another. But we got to remember, we can't do that with our ladies, because they don't see it the same way.
Yep.
That's a lot. And I just want to read more Warren's comment real quick. He said, men have to jump through so many levels to keep a woman interested. I don't necessarily agree with that entire statement, but I'll keep going. And don't expect much, especially being a father, knowing when your kids get older, will want to be independent, but the gym is my therapy. I'm glad you have something.
Yep.
Warren, I'm really glad that you had, like, the gym is your therapy. More power to you, man. I love that for you. I really do. I'm glad that you have that. The one part of your statement I don't agree with is that jump through so many hoops to keep a woman interested. I heard something from, I want to say it was an anonymous quote. I don't know, because I don't know who said it. And I would give them all the credit if I knew it. But I'll tell you this. Do you know how you keep a woman?
Uh-oh.
Continue to chase her like you chased her when you were dating her, and that's how you'll never lose her.
Yeah, that's...
You know what? I don't care. Guys, listen, I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm going to get real close to you so I don't have to say this loud, because I don't want your women to hear it if you're listening on a laptop, that they can hear everything. I don't care if she's going to yell at you and tell you that you're disgusting. Send her a message in the middle of the day that says, oh my God, if you were home, I would take you in the bedroom and I would just shit out of you. Okay. And guess what? She's probably going to react with a text message of like, why? Why would you say that to me in the middle of the day?
Yeah, that
right? Something like that.
Are you sure you're not supposed to send this to somebody else? It's like, no.
Right. But here's the thing. We know as guys that we want to be able to talk that way, right? So if we're saying it to the right person, I don't care if I get rejected, because I've been rejected 9,000 times in my life, right?
Yeah.
But that's my way of telling her, look, I'm thinking about you right now, and I'm thinking certain thoughts about you right now, and I still find you as hot as I did the first day we dated. And believe me, no matter what they're saying out loud or texting to you, they're thinking about what you said. I guarantee, because that's how women are. They're not going to just be like, oh my God, he's so disgusting. I guarantee you, later in the day, maybe the day after, maybe 2 days after, at some point, they're going to go to one of the girlfriends and be like, oh my God, do you know what he sent me the other day for a text message? I told him he was disgusting, but honestly, it was kind of hot. You're going to tell me that they don't do that? Because I know they do.
They'll say one thing to you and then go to.
And I don't want to say it like, I didn't want to say it like that, Chris, but
no, I know what you, right.
So it's like the great comedian Bill Burr said, okay, no means no. And there are times that no means no, right? So if you're on a date with a woman and you're kind of pushing towards, you know what, I don't need to spell it out for you, and she says no, okay, that no is 100%, that means no, okay? And you just need to back off, because that's a no. But guys, I'm here to tell you, not all no's mean no. Do you know when a no doesn't mean no? Because I can give you a classic example, and you're gonna lap your ass up at this, Brandon, because you know I'm correct.
Okay.
When a no doesn't mean no is when you're talking to them that way, say on a second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th date, and they're like, no, stop, don't do that, don't say that, no, you're bad, you're so bad, don't say that, no.
Yep.
They're not saying no. What they're telling you is try harder, idiot.
Yep.
Or I've done the song and dance with someone before, and I don't want you to know that. So either way, that's when a no doesn't mean no.
Yep.
But again, we're not here to bag on women. We're not. Because honestly, guys, what would we do without a woman? Honestly, what?
Yeah.
I mean, look. So just as an example, think about a week that you've been alone. Have you had a week ever without a significant other there? Right.
Oh yeah.
What do you do that week?
I honestly, as a matter of fact, I just had one a few weeks ago, and I just kind of lounged around and
Right. It's kind of boring, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the first few nights, it's like, okay, this is cool, whatever, kind of, the week goes on, and, day, probably day 3.5, 4, 5, yeah. Once it gets down to like 6, 7, it's like, oh my God, this has been a week, you're not here, I mean, it's nice and quiet, but yeah, it gets kind of just lonesome. You're right.
You enjoy the peace and quiet, but then after a while, you're like,
Well,
I'm a little lost.
Well, it's just like when the world shut down for how many months. I mean, my job shut down for 2 months, and first few weeks was pretty nice, and got stuff done. And then it's like week 3 came around. It's like, okay, got nothing to do. What can I do? And then week 4, it's like, okay, what can I do? It's like driving you crazy because you're at home. You can't go nowhere. So it's like, okay, something needs to happen here. So. No, J-Mac nailed it right on the head, when you're by yourself and not used to that after years,
After years of especially when you've been with someone for years, you get so used to that feeling, and then you don't know what to do with yourself. Look, and a great comedian said it the best. He said, you miss being in your 20s as a guy. Do you know why? Chris, pay attention. In your 20s, and Brandon will attest to this, in your 20s, your friend could literally show up at your apartment and say, do you want to go? You don't even know where you're going. And you're like, yeah, I'll go.
Yep.
Yes, I'll set my apartment on fire and I'll move because I just don't care. Like, you don't care, right?
Yep.
Then in your 30s, you're like, well, where are we going?
Yep.
Is it going to be loud? Is there going to be a lot of people there? You know what? I'll just drive myself.
Yep.
And then you hit 40, and 40 becomes, I'm kind of pissed you would even think I wanted to go.
Yeah.
It's hard for me because sometimes so my job right now, I still, as an insurance agent, it is my job to sell insurance, but I also took on another role, which I never told you guys this, but I took on the role of agency marketing. So I'm the marketer. Like, I go out and talk to people and go to events and hand out cards and do all kinds of stuff. Do you know how people out I get after a couple of days? I just don't want to see people anymore. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to be the hell alone.
Yep.
Because I get peopled out. Because people are rude sometimes.
Well, and that's just like any job you have, if you cooks, how many people want to go home and then cook? If you're a housekeeper, how many people want to go home and clean their house after? You drive for a living. How many people want to go home and, let's go out to dinner? Really? I got to drive again? I mean,
yeah.
Right.
Let me tell you another one, because you guys know I just did this recently, up until last year. You know what the one I hate more than anything is?
What?
You work in a retail store and you get home, and then it's, do you want to go shopping? No, I really don't. You have that experience all day long.
Yeah.
I've been there.
I've worked at the casino for the last 5 years, and I'm not burnt out, but I guess if I had buddies that called me up and said, "Hey, you want to go to the casino tonight?" Dude, I just got done working. I mean, at a casino. Why would I want to go? And but
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So here,
as much as
I want to share some funnies with you guys, and I think we need to end the show on a funny note. So we'll find some of these funnies.
Well, before you go to a funny note, can we let's just talk a little sports here?
Okay.
What is it with that post? I didn't know the player's name, but tested positive for being pregnant because he used a woman's urine sample. Why would you even do that?
I don't know.
Well, I guess the best
I mean,
is it's 2023 and gender stuff. Maybe maybe we can't we got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he didn't know that only estrogen is in women's urine and not in men's. And
well, no, and I get that part, but I mean, one, why wouldn't you just go to your buddy? I mean, if that's the case, I mean, to me, it's like, okay, made a mistake, but now you're probably gonna get tested randomly. But I saw that post. It was just like, really, dude. I mean,
Right.
if I thought I wasn't gonna pass the test, I would not go to a female for it. I guess I would go to another male. I mean, I guess, but it is what it is. Yeah.
I just wouldn't do it. I don't mean.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
I'd be like, well,
one thing I've known, when I've had to do that for jobs, is just be honest with them. Even if because they said poppy seeds pop up. Okay, I remember going to one job interview and had to go take a test, and they're like, "Have you had anything?" Well, I've heard poppy seeds could come back. I did have a poppy seed muffin today. They kind of all laugh at me, and they're like, "You know how many poppy seeds it would take?" No, I wouldn't know how many poppy seeds it would take for it to come up, but just being honest, so, but yeah, I saw that and I just kind of laughed. It's just like, to me, you should be suspended then.
yeah.
So,
if you were
all right, J-Mac, let's get to some funnies.
Like if you were dumb enough to try that, you got what you got coming to you. I'll just say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so this is the best one I found, but so we'll start with this one.
All right.
A woman walks into his bedroom and sees his wife packing a suitcase. He asks her, "What are you doing?" She replies, "Well, I'm off to New York. I read that prostitutes there get $400 a night doing what I do for free." Later on her way out, the wife walks into the bedroom to tell her husband she's leaving, and she sees him packing a suitcase. And she says, "What the hell are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, I'm going with you to New York and see how you're going to survive on $800 a year."
That's a good one.
Yeah.
God damn, that was so funny. I laughed so hard at work, I almost fell out of my chair today when I saw that one. I was like, man, the guys will love that.
That is a good one.
That's pretty awesome. Let me get through all these real quick, and I'll find the next one that I had. Again, guys, I saw that one and just about fell out of my chair.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Guys, when you get down on yourself, just remember this: you may not be the best looking or the most athletic or funny or talented or smart. Well, I forgot where I was going with that, but just remember that you do like bacon. Yeah. My kid. No, I don't remember where I took my shoes off 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
My same kid. You told me 6 Wednesdays ago at 2:46 p.m. that we might get ice cream after school.
Yeah. You posted that one in the chat and it made me laugh because that is true.
Yeah.
And honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I probably pulled that one on my mom a few times or not.
Yeah.
Here's a funny one I saw because we can all relate. Man, woman, child, whether you're an alien, purple, green, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. We can all relate to this one because this one I'm calling out as BS. I don't get offended easily. But did you guys know that the serving size on a package of Oreos is 2 cookies? What kind of absolute horse shit is that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Think about that.
When there's a lot more of them in the packaging and you're only allowed 2 of them.
Right? Yeah. I wake up every day. I try to be a good person. But then someone pulls in front of me or cuts in front of me in traffic, like doing 10 miles below the speed limit, and then I think, God damn it, I got to try again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you wake up in the middle of the night, you see Michael Myers at the top of your stairs. What's your first thought?
I don't know.
So there was actually a feed about it on Facebook,
Green?
and the best comment, right? This
Is it
comment,
green?
not the post itself.
Oh, I did see the, I did see the post. I did see the comment.
This comment alone got 115 reactions. That's how good of a comment it was.
All right.
The comment was, I would breathe a sigh of relief knowing that I don't have to go to work tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true, right? Like,
No,
you're like,
yeah,
oh,
it's true.
I'm not going to work tomorrow.
Right.
You ever been at your job and you're just like, man, this place is so unorganized. This is not even like, you ever just think like, I've seen monkey shit fights at the zoo better organized than this fucking job. I've been there. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
So let's pick on Troy Aikman for a minute.
All right, we're done.
12 years in the NFL. This is Troy Aikman's numbers. Okay.
Uh-huh.
These are
Thanks
like
to the Vikings, by the way.
yeah. So let me just say, 12 years. This is his best season. These are his best season numbers in his 12-year career. 11-5 record was his best season.
Okay.
3,849 passing yards was his best season.
Okay.
24 touchdowns was his best season.
Okay.
63% completion percentage was his best season.
Okay.
And he won 3 Super Bowl rings.
Thanks to Minnesota.
Right. So he's in the Hall of Fame. Don't
Yep.
forget that. Now let's contrast that to Patrick Mahomes.
He's been in the league, what, 7 years?
He's played 6 years in the NFL.
6 years, okay.
His best season was 4,084 yards passing. Okay.
Okay.
67% completion percentage. And he's got 2 Super Bowl rings in 6 years. And he doesn't have the greatest running back of all time behind him.
For sure.
Think about that for a minute.
He hasn't got the greatest offensive line in front of him either, so.
That's true. That's true.
And also, you know, looking at records, you have to now consider that extra game.
Yeah. So Chris, listen up, because this one's going to make a little fun of your generation here. Okay. This generation go out all night and call into work the next day. My generation club hopped, got home at 6 a.m., slept for 18 minutes, then showed up at work in our club clothes and a club wristband from the night before.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
How many times do you think we did that in our lives, Big B?
Man, yeah, one I know jumps out really well, but yeah, it's you know, yeah. Or you just don't sleep and you're playing video games all night, and then you're like, "Oh, I gotta go to work." I mean,
I know that I've gone drinking and then had breakfast at 4 a.m, and then you get home and you're like, "Well, shit, I guess I should just take a shower and go to work because it's 6 o'clock and I got to be at work at 7." Yeah.
Yep.
Couple more. Let's do 2 more and then we'll get out of here. Pro tip: carry binoculars with you when you're hiking. So when you make frequent stops, it looks like you're appreciating nature and not fighting for air.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Speaking of that, over the weekend when I played those 12 softball games, there was one hit that I hit so well, they wanted me to run to third base from home plate. So they wanted me to
Yeah.
get.
You rested and watched it.
No. I mean, I made it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I made it to third, but then I got to third, and I'm like, who brought the oxygen? My God,
Yeah.
100 degrees outside, and you want me to run to third base? Anyway, last one. Most people at work during a meeting paying attention to what the boss says. Me at work during a meeting, how in the hell did they get that big table in through that door?
I think we've all had that moment where
Yeah.
whether it's in school or in the meeting, we're like, I wonder what. How
did they get that in there, right? Because
Yeah.
you got to wonder, how the hell did they get stuff through that door? I don't get it.
Right. You just think random thoughts, and it's like, wait, what'd you say?
Okay, no, this is the last one, I promise, and then we'll do final thoughts. But wife says, "I'm going into labor." Husband, win. Wife, now husband, slowly sets down the plates and nachos. Jesus Christ, Karen, I just made these. I mean, that would be funny, but I wouldn't suggest anyone ever saying that.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
Probably not a great idea. Just saying. All right. Chris, give us some final thoughts, man.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. Great shows coming to coast. I think on deck tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then morning tailgate Sunday.
Big B.
Yep, like Chris said, just keep tuning in. Thanks for everybody for enjoying the show, watching it live or watching our replay. Tomorrow morning here, about noon Central, we'll do morning tailgate. Myself, Chris, Big Dog Greg, and Tim Hendricks breaking down some baseball. And then, yeah, like Chris said, 2023 NFL morning tailgate. Going to start breaking down the teams and thoughts and talk about Rodgers probably having the best team ever in New York if they make the moves that's been reported. I mean, it's going to be a fun NFL season from start to finish, I believe. So keep checking us out, and then keep checking myself and Tim out. Mondays we're going to do this week. I got something going on Tuesday. So with C2C Raycom, we got another fun episode planned. So keep checking us out.
Need some higher profile MLB trades, Greg says.
That is true. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't had many trades yet.
Hey, Chris, last question before I do the final and we get out of here.
Uh-huh.
You know how in Star Wars, like most of them have a last name, right? Most characters. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mace Windu, Anakin Skywalker, right?
Okay.
Why doesn't Yoda have a last name?
I don't know.
Actually, he did originally have a last name when they wrote the script.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to cut it, though. Because the last name they had him on was Lehihu.
That was good.
All right, I know that was kind of dumb, but it was funny. Got a good laugh.
A lot of dumb ones are the funny ones. I mean,
for sure. Hey, Chris, what's blue and smells like red paint?
I don't know.
Blue paint. I mean.
God. Oh, man.
Chris, I want you to record yourself doing this one day.
Frying bacon naked?
No, God, I don't want to see that.
Hey, maybe the ladies do.
No, I don't want to see it. But Chris, go up to one of your friends one of these days and go, man, does this smell like Updog in here?
There has been people I've seen do that on YouTube and TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw one, I think it was on TikTok, where the guy asked that to his girlfriend. She's drunk, and he's like, hey, babe, can you pass me that Updog? And she's like, you want to put it in my ass? What?
Nah.
By the way, so as we head out, we'll say our goodbyes for tonight. We thank you for watching and listening. I want to remind all of you guys in the committed relationship out there that I do have a hack for you for the world. And just remember that next time you're in a fight with your old lady, all you have to do is start undressing, because she will instantly have a headache and fall asleep. So thanks for watching and listening. We appreciate every single one of you. We could not do this show without you. Keep watching East Coast. Four Bros will be with you. We will resume our Monday shows, by the way, the week after Labor Day weekend. That way we'll get a full week of NFL games in there, and we will be back with you on Mondays starting that week. So I don't have I think 11th, don't know. I believe it's September 11th that we'll have actually the first Monday show back. But it'll be right around that time. So we'll be back with you then. We'll have our 200th episode just before that. Our 200th episode right now, I would be coming to you live from Hawaii when the 200th episode would be happening, by the way. So that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty awesome to see. So anyway, we bid you adieu. You guys have a great night. We'll see you all on